So welcome if you're just joining on Facebook and YouTube. We are doing some movement. We'll do some Qigong flow. We'll do some spine stretching and mobilization and some strengthening of the feet, strengthening of the legs, strength and stability, doing some squats as well. Taking your feet shoulder width apart. Let's start off with knocking. So just softness in the knees, tall through the spine. Connecting to the ground, using the ground, moving through the hips and the waist. Make sure that the spine stays nice and long, so you just visualize that you've got a central rotational axis from the crown of the head through like the center of the body, and you're just rotating around that axis. Shoulders are relaxed. Space between the shoulder blades as well. Arms relaxed, elbows just naturally bending. You're tapping the back of the hand on that lower back area, on the kidney area. In Qigong, on that door of life, which is the point behind the belly button. So directly behind the belly button. Stimulating blood flow, lymphatic drainage, getting energy moving through the body. Breathing is just naturally easy in and out through the nose. So face relaxed, jaw relaxed. Remember, smiling is optional. That inner smile really helps to relax the face. Tell the rest of the body it's safe. Tell the mind it's safe. We'll go into that step back. Remember we did this last week, so just slow it down a second. We'll just break down the movement. As you rotate, and I'm mirroring you, as you rotate to the right, you step back, and then you step back. But you're just tapping back. The weight stays on that front leg. And obviously that front leg changes. But the weight stays forwards. Just opens up the hips a little bit more. Makes you knock all the furniture all over the place. And it's good for the balance, coordination, timing. And then back just to both feet in contact with the ground. Slow it down into water waves. And with the water waves, keep that relaxation in the shoulders, upper body. Keep the strength through the legs. Keep grounded. But just get that little bit of resistance in the movement. So it's like the air is a little bit thicker, is a little bit denser around you. But keep the softness in the elbows, the shoulders. Feel that spiral movement through the wrists, the elbows, the shoulders. And then come to a rest for a moment. And just find your balance. Nice and tall through the spine, relaxing the shoulders a little bit. And then step out. Let's do spinal cord breathing, but as you come up, lengthen the back of the neck. Usually we'll open up the chest and look up, which is great. This time we open up the chest there, we lift the sternum, but we lengthen the back of the neck. So you almost like keep the head facing straight. So you feel that nice lengthening of the back of the neck as you open up here and then you tuck the tailbone, tuck the chin. So that's the same position that we usually do. Here, rather than looking up like that, you just lengthen the back of the neck. So it's almost look forwards. Breath in. And keep the movement, so there's a movement all the time. It's not stopping here. You're just about to return back to that position. So it's very much almost like a pulsing action. And it's nice and slow, so that at no time are you overstretching or overreaching or over breathing. It's a really good morning stretch, or a stretch any time of the day, but it's that stretch that it's like, yeah, I'm awake now, almost. The pelvis moving. On the next in-breath, just take a rotation to the right and open up that right side of the body. And then breath out down the center, and then left side, out down the center, and just a couple side to side. And then one more back down the center, expand, open up, breath out. And then take a rest. Good. And just move around, balance again, just feel how maybe taller, freer in that upper body you feel. And then we'll step out about a shoulder and a half width apart, so a bit wider than shoulder width, hinging the hips back as we just gently rest on the thighs. We're not putting loads of weight through there. Let's just do the movement first, so just shifting side to side, making sure that the pelvis stays parallel to the floor, so we're not tipping up and side to side. The pelvis stays parallel. Get that slide, get that glide going across. The shoulders stay over the pelvis, so I'm not leaning to side or side. Shoulders sit on top of the pelvis. Spine stays nice and long. And then we'll free up that spine, move the body like a river. So you get the spine wave, the hip leads, and then the spine follows. The head is the last thing, because it's at the top of the spine. This side to side movement, again, is something that I'm really focusing on in terms of freeing up that movement, so that when you are walking, when you are running, when you land, there is that little bit of give to the side as well. If we're rigid, it locks up to the side. So it's that whole idea of balancing the yin and the yang, or the strength and the softness. Where do we need to be strong? Where can we just soften a little bit? And that will vary depending on what you're doing. Slow it down. Slowly come up to standing. Walking the feet in. And we'll have a little bit of a shake. So if it feels good, tapping the heels into the floor, really letting the shoulders go. Maybe with each of those taps, that's just forcing the breath out of the body. Good if you just had your breakfast. And then bring the arms into it. So shaking the wrists, still keep the shoulders going. And then let's slow it down, go half speed. Feel that vibration. If it feels okay, really just let the heels just tap into the floor so you get that strength through the body, you get that vibration. This is building strength through the bones. And stop. And then just balance and feel what you've created, that energy running through the body. Blood flow through the body. Let the breath settle. If you feel you want to take a fuller breath and let go, that's fine. Okay, let's focus on where our center of gravity is, where the spine is in terms of that center of gravity as well. So as you are shifting the weight forward, you just feel that weight coming towards the balls of the foot or your bubbling spring. And not just focusing on where is my center of gravity down here, but think, where is my spine? So bring your awareness to the whole spine as it shifts forwards. I was working with my trainer on Tuesday and we were talking about center of gravity and a lot of the stuff that we've been doing together here. And he just said to me, focus on the spine. And I was like, yeah, that's brilliant. He said, it's very clear. Most of us now are aware of where center of gravity is here. But that whole idea of keeping lower dantian, middle dantian, upper dantian, all those 3 points in contact. So just think of the spine. So where's my spine as it rocks forwards? Where's my spine as it rocks backwards? And then what I want you to do is, as we rock forwards, if it's comfortable, we go up to raise the bubbling spring. So we go balance on the ball of the foot and then slowly down onto the heels. So just do a few of those, raising the bubbling spring. So really finding your balance and then back down. And again, it's focusing. I'm just turning around to show you from the side. Keep facing front. It's where the spine is. If you do this with the spine or that with the spine, you lose your balance. So just think about where the spine is. And then I went too far forward and then back. So just a few of those. And really notice the bubbling spring connected to the ground. So really strong through the ball of the foot. You can spread the toes. And keep lifting tall, keep the shoulders relaxed. Couple more. Notice the muscles in the lower legs, the ankles. And then take a rest. And you might just want to then shake out those ankles, shake out the lower legs. And then come back to balance. And we'll do the same, but this time as you're doing it, bring the arms up as well. So that's a little bit more challenging. And then back down. Arms coming up. Shoulders relaxed. There's gravity, centre of gravity moving forward, spine moving with it. Nice and slow, find your rhythm. Let's do a couple more. And then take a rest. Good. Give your lower legs a bit of a shake, or your legs a bit of a shake out again. And let's just do a little bit of walking on the heels. So really flexing the toes up towards the knees. You can spread the toes as well. Little walk around, walk side to side, backwards, round in a circle. And then swap to side of the foot. Again, if you've got any pain in the ankle or any ankle issues, then don't do these exercises. Don't do anything that creates pain. If you're breathing easy, and again, you can go side to side. Shoulders relaxed. And then internal. Inside. Good, and then just back on the bubbling springs. Just walking around a little bit. Feel that softness as you're landing. Side to side. Good, and then take a stop and again a nice little shake. And then take a rest. Let the breath settle. So you should now feel some heat and tingling, maybe a little bit more through the feet, through the lower legs. Now we've really activated and awoken the feet up, got them working. Go to your shoulder width apart. Let's do some tigers. So just a few tigers just to start off with, just to get the comfortable depth. Nice and slow. Nice and tall at the top. Remember that we want to have that idea that I'm not tilting forwards like this. I've almost like got my sternum facing the front. So if I need to turn around here or here, I can do that. I'm just lowering my hips. It tends to be the point, if you get to the point where you can't go any lower in the hips, you start to bend forward. So we want to just get to that point where you're there rather than here. So just lower the hips as far as you can, keeping that openness in the front of the body. Just get those hips working. Breathing easy. Let's do one more. And then come up to standing. Take a rest. And then remembering what we did last week, where we just had that slight shift forward. So thinking about moving the center of gravity, or again moving, letting that spine shift forward. So I'm just going to show you from the side, I'll exaggerate it. As you come down, We're there. As we start to come up, rather than just coming up, think of that little bit of a shift forward. So you'll feel that working a little bit more the calf muscles. You might feel a little bit more, not tightness is the wrong word, but more engagement here in the ankles. So you shift the weight forwards and come up. It's really subtle. If you push too far forward, you fall forward. But you want to get that idea of, I'm here and now I need to move forwards. So have that intention of moving forwards. So there's that very subtle shift. Make sure that the heels don't come off the ground. So we're not bringing the heels off the ground. And it's quite a nice visualization again to think spine is coming forwards rather than just center of gravity. I like that. Couple more. And then take a rest there. So hopefully you can feel the difference. You might feel just a little bit more work going on in the big or the side glute muscles as well. Take a rest there. And then the next one, I'll show you again from the side. It's without falling backwards, just shift the weight back a little bit through the heels. So you're coming up using the heel a little bit more. But again, you don't want to lean back or lean forwards. It's just about where that spine is balanced over the pelvis. Let's do a few of them. So just in your own time. So when you get to the point where you're coming up, just shift back slightly, making sure you don't fall. Bubbling spring is still in contact with the ground. So you're not coming, the toes might free up a little bit, you might be able to spread the toes might come off the ground, but that bubbling spring is still connected. Let's do a couple more. And then come up to standing. Nice. And then give yourself a little bit of a shake out. So it's that idea of if you were going to jump forwards, that idea of moving forwards is you jump forwards and keep going forwards. Or you jump forwards and I need to stop there. It's that little bit more shifting the weight back when you stop, or shifting the weight forwards when you know you need to continue going forwards. It's really, really subtle, but it's a nice little thing to play around with. Let's finish off with 3 of the simple Qigong flow movements that I've been using this week, particularly just to do some grounding and some recovery between runs. So the first one, let's bring our feet together and then step out. And just the opening of the flow. So just take it easy now, just let the breath settle. So these Qigong flow movements are very different from what we've just done. We've done some very active movements. So the Qigong flow is almost like just let the breath, just let the energy that we've just created move the body. And with this as well, without doing it, if you like, you can almost feel as the arms float up, there's that little bit of a rock, a little bit of a shift back, so a little bit more weight through the heels to come down, that little bit more shift towards the bubbling spring, towards the ball of the foot. Let's do one more. And then the next move, soaring crane. And again, maybe notice standing slightly taller here, a little bit more weight shift towards the balls of the foot. As we're softening, maybe a little bit more weight shift towards the heels. So this just releases the lower body a little bit, softens the lower body a little bit. And breath in as you're expanding. And breath out as you're softening. And then the next move, pulling down the heavens, but this time we'll do it in 6 directions. So open up the space there, rotate, pull down, back to center. And then opening up, expanding, taking the plant out again, that plant's got bigger, rotate, back to center. One more. And finishing with some bamboo in the wind, crossing the palms, bringing the feet together, closing your eyes if it's safe to do so, and just allowing the body to find its own natural balance, allowing the breath to center and find balance. And in your own time, just taking a slightly fuller breath in now through the nose. Calm breath in. Top of the breath, you can open your eyes, step out. Give yourself a little bit of a gentle rub down. Thank your body for working so well for you this morning. Give your tummy a rub. And we will finish there. Thank you. It's good. Nice stuff to play around with. Continue posting if you're on the AIM challenge. Continue posting on the Facebook group. I know a lot of you don't enjoy the Facebook group, so if you're not in the Facebook group, you can still join in with the challenge. Get grounded, get barefoot, get grounded, do some Qigong, do some swimming, do some walking, whatever works for you at that moment in time. See a lot of you on Saturday for the workshop, the Unlock the Power of the Breath workshop, which is 12 till 1:30 on Saturday. So hopefully see you then. If not, I'll see you next Tuesday for more focus on breathing. Have a great weekend if I don't see you Saturday. Take care.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.